Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. There's a little delay
Welcome
there,
indeed.
Jeff. We had a little...
I'm ill, so.
Welcome, folks, to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk, and we're going to have fun tonight, aren't we, Jeff?
Yeah, if we hold up, if we make it through.
Yeah, we got a little sinus thing going, but I feel great. Other than that, I sound a little nasally, but whatever. We can get this
You
done.
sound congested, and
Yeah.
you know,
But it's one of
that
those
kind
things.
of stuff.
You know, I feel like it's sinuses, but maybe it's a cold. I don't know. But we're going to make it happen. We're going to have a good time tonight for sure. And we've got an excellent guest, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things. So if you got questions, be sure to type them in, and Jeff or myself or Jocelyn will get them hopefully on the screen so we can ask them.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So you were
So
just...
why don't you do the housekeeping, then we'll chat about that last week.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about last week for sure. Well, as always, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell, I got to look at the right camera, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. Whew. And of course,
You don't have enough breath for that tonight,
yes,
sir.
of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's just exactly what we're going to do here tonight.
Yes, we are. And it was a good week last week. I was at the beach all week, if you all remember. We came to you Monday night from the beach.
Yes.
So it was a good show. And the Mumbles man and myself think I might have overdone it a little bit, but you know, it calls to me, so I have to go.
Yes.
We were in the water at daybreak every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and didn't come out of the water till about 2 o'clock or later every day. So, and that was constant hunting. That wasn't just, lollygagging in the surf. We were hunting the whole time.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of gold finds and a few other rings and a bunch of trash. It was the beaches were somewhat sanded in different areas. They were sanded in, sandbars where there never has been a sandbar before, and but other areas were, it was down where. One thing, if you hunt in the St. Pete Beach, Tampa area, if you got decent bottom to hunt, you're going to dig shells.
Yes.
So you're getting scoops full of shells. So
Hard pack. Yes.
it was good. Yeah. And I found one little cute 18-karat gold ring. And so the Mumbles man did pretty good. He found a platinum J with diamonds in it and a golden snake heroin in it, I think, or something.
He should have thrown that platinum back, Jeff, because platinum's third the price of gold. I
Yeah,
think.
should have just pitched it.
Yeah, gold is 2,500 or was 2,500 an ounce. So that's kind of crazy to think. When I got started in this hobby, I think gold was around 300 an ounce.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, in the past I've sold a lot of gold, but we had a good time. For Sam, that you wanted to know, the Guru and Jocelyn and Susan and I went out Thursday night for dinner. And Friday night we had a whole group. We had Ricky T, the Mumbles man, Billy Key and his wife, Phil, Jocelyn, Tim's wife, the Mumbles man's wife Tina, Rick's wife Deb, Billy's wife Linda. So we had a real good time, real great meal at the Conch Republic. It was good. It was a lot of fun, and I got to thinking, being at the advanced age that I am, I'm thinking, this is pretty good. I said, for what we did this week, Tim being 70 and me being kicking 75 hard, we didn't do too bad being out in the
Great.
water. And then I'm thinking, I wish I was younger as we're sitting at the table Friday night with everybody having a good time. I said, I really wish I was younger. And the only reason I wish that is so there could be more evenings like that.
Yes.
On the table with all my friends,
Good time.
having a good time. And then I got to thinking, well, you know what? Everybody gets to be young. Not everybody gets to be old. So appreciate what you got. So I did.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jeff.
So
It
I
was
did.
fun times. It was good times, and hope to do it again.
And
Um,
Jocelyn had bionic eyes, and she did not miss a thing.
yeah, she can see everything, and she can see all the comments on here. So I guess we better. Oh, I wanted before we get started, I wanted to remind folks that the WSAS Tampa Club meeting is tomorrow night. So yeah, Tuesday night. It better be tomorrow night. It's at 7 o'clock. And actually, Joe Vizzi and myself will be speaking there, and we'll be showing off some new products. I wish we could show off the new Garrett, but hey, it'll come another day. But
You hope.
yes, but Mind Lab's got new products out. Noka's got new products out. So it's going to be a good time. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, just go to WSAS.club and you'll see where the meeting's at. It's actually at Richard Coincopia's store. He's got a huge meeting area and we got room for maybe 100 people. So should be a good time for that.
It should.
And with that being said, Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All righty. So you've seen this young man before. He's a very, very accomplished detectorist, has friends all over the world in the detecting and treasure hunting genre of folks around the world. Very talented, very astute, explains it very well. He is the author of Beneath Our Feet 1 and 2. Excuse me. He's got 2 volumes out, and I think he's working on volume 3, which is a major, major undertaking. Now, we will be giving away we have 2 winners tonight. We'll give away volume 1 and volume 2. So we'll have a good drawing for this book. And as you can see, it's a nice hardbound book. It's got lots of great pictures and got good sized print, so you're not going to strain your eyes when you read it. And it's very, very interesting. And you're going to get to maybe meet a lot of folks through this book that you maybe have seen but don't know anything about. So it's a fantastic book. And this guy's been all over the world detecting. So we're going to talk about all that and everything else. So let's bring him on right now. Ken. Hello, Ken.
Welcome,
Hey, good
Ken.
evening.
Welcome to Treasure Talk.
I have to correct one thing. You said young.
Okay.
I don't think I could pass for young anymore.
Oh, we're all
Compared to
young. We're all young, brother, for
Yeah, I know,
sure.
right?
So far this year, you've been to England once, you said?
Yeah, so I went over in March. I usually go twice a year, March and September. Unfortunately, though, this March I had a kidney stone. And I tried to tough it out, but after 2 days I had to come back. Then I had surgery, and I'm all ready to go now for September. So knock on wood, everything's back to normal, and those things are out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. And it looks
Yeah,
like
they're not fun.
Welcome, Ken. Thanks for being our guest today. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on here. And before we get into it, I want to remind folks they can type their questions on the live stream there, and we'll get it asked. But I got loads of questions, so I could fill the whole hour myself. But I don't like to be hoggish, huh, Jeff?
Ask him.
So tell us about what equipment you're using now.
So when I go to England, I usually bring like a duplicate of everything, right? 2 detectors, 2 headphones. I actually bring wired headphones now as well. So that's my Manicore setups. So I use the Manicores when I go to England. And then when I'm around here hunting, I usually use a 900.
Okay, and we'll talk about the coils. But first, tell the folks where you're at. A lot of people
So I'm actually live in Mount Wolf, Pennsylvania, which is in York County, right off the Susquehanna River. And I'm about 15 minutes from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. A lot of people know where that is. So,
Yeah, I grew up in Maryland, so I got a lot
oh,
of
okay.
family. I got a lot of family still in York, Pennsylvania. That's funny.
Yeah.
We
It's
used
beautiful up here,
oh
but it's
yeah,
just I'm like 2.5 hours from all my permissions. So I lived in Jersey for 55 years, right? So anytime I want to go hunt, because I don't have any permissions up here yet, it's a 2.5 hour drive to my permissions and then a 2.5 hour drive home. So it makes it a long day.
yes, that is a long day. So you got
Yeah.
to be door knocking, I guess, out in York.
Yeah, it's funny. I never can time it right. I go through a lot of the farms have like these long driveways, so private drive. So I try to catch them on the field, and I work from home, so I don't drive around a lot, like going to work, back and forth to work. So I go out and try to catch them just like on a Saturday or Sunday, or maybe after work sometimes. And the times that I do see them, I got the grandkids in the car, or my wife and I are dressed up and we're going out, and I can't stop and walk on a farm field to talk to the guy. So the timing's been rough.
Yeah,
So hopefully soon.
yeah, it'll happen for sure. So
Yeah.
tell us about the coils you run on your, especially on your England trip. What coil you run over there?
So usually the bigger coils, it's just more ground coverage, and in most cases, the fields are pretty quiet. If they start to get chattery, I'll put a smaller coil on to kind of reduce the masking. But I usually use as big as I can find, like the Equinox, the 17-inch, or the 30-30 back in the day with the 17-inch, and so as big as
Well,
I can
you
get
gotta,
them. Yeah.
you're fixing to be real happy because Coil Tech's coming out with the 18 incher.
18-inch.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
there's Trevor's going to be on here. Isn't he going to be on here in the next week, Jeff? Or Wednesday?
Next week.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
coil tech.
18 incher
Yeah,
for Manicore, and I think Knox's too.
I've got the Knox 18-inch. It's actually hanging on right up there.
You don't have the
That's
Medicare ones yet? They're not out?
no, they're not out. They're on back order for when they come
No.
in. I'll
Yeah, I
have some
figured.
when they come in. But yeah, that's what I guess Trevor's going to talk about next week. And I've sold quite a few of the Equinox ones. I just can't swing that coil because maybe I got shoulder and elbow issues, or maybe I'm just old. But I have a hard time swinging that one. And Dirty Paul's Detecting is asking, do you use a harness when you use the big coil?
No, even on the 30-30, with the 7-inch coil, I never used a harness. I bought it, and at the first day it was out with the 30-30, I hooked it all up, and it was cumbersome to me. It kind of restricted my movement, so I just took it off, and I just always used it without a harness, and I got used to it. And compared to the 30-30 with the 17-inch, the Manicore is kind of light.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, and it's actually balanced pretty well, I think, too.
Yeah.
So,
well, with that 18-inch coil, when people buy it here, I throw in Carter Pennington's Detecting Pal. I just throw it in on the deal. I say, you're going to need this.
yeah.
So that's what we usually do, because that is a big coil. I know people buy them for the beaches. It's just I would have a hard time swinging that, wouldn't you, Jeff?
Oh, I couldn't. I could not do it. But the thing that if it's a little bit drizzly and wet over there, and you got that 8-inch coil, it gets a little mud on it. That sucker's going to be hard to swing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be cleaning that
You've
off.
had that, Ken, when you're over there. How sometimes the fields get, it rain. You hunt through the rain unless it's storming, and the fields get a little muddy, and your boots get filled up with mud, and your detector gets filled up with mud.
Yeah. It's funny,
You got
like
to continually
March
coil,
and September, they have two different kind of atmospheres or environments when you're detecting it. September, the ground's pretty firm usually, and it's hard digging sometimes. And then March
Yep.
is the exact opposite. It's really sloppy. It's really muddy. You bring a spatula to get the mud off your boots when you're walking around, but it just piles on your boots. So
Yep.
that's why I like September a little better than March, but sometimes the ground can get really hard.
Yeah, I like September a lot better. That's when I went with September.
Yeah.
And we had beautiful, we had rain one day, and that was it. So, and we hunted for 10.
Yeah, we covered that question, Joss, already about the harness and yeah, and that harness. The Mind Lab harness, is that the one you were trying to use, Ken?
So for the 3030, I initially bought the harness when I bought the 3030, but I used it for like 15 minutes and took it off. And I
Yeah,
haven't used the harness since. But maybe as I'm getting older, maybe it's not such a bad idea.
yeah,
You know,
I could see it. Yeah, everybody likes my shirt tonight. Yeah, this is my pirate shirt, so I felt in a pirate mood today, so I decided to wear that. But yeah, that the Mind Lab harness, that's a little cumbersome, especially for
yeah.
us here when you got to deal with heat also. So that's
Yeah.
why I like Carter's. It just goes over the back and of your neck, and it's like it's like a bungee, and
Oh,
it's lighter and easier to set up real quick, and it just it keeps that weight off of your arm, and I guess it ties it into your back a little bit, which you don't even feel it. So that's a good option for the large coils, especially if you go to that 18-inch. But I'm not doing that. I'm still waiting for the Deus small coil, which that one supposedly is coming out because Merle told us that. So we'll see how long it
Yeah,
takes.
the high frequency.
Yes, high frequency coil, and
Yeah,
the and soon we'll have and we're going to show some new equipment at the WSAS meeting, but unfortunately we don't have the Garrett detector yet, but that'll be here soon. Have you seen anybody using that? Any testers?
I haven't seen anybody.
Okay, all right.
I've heard good things about it, though. I mean, I think all the manufacturers, a lot of it comes down to the skill of the user, right?
Yeah,
If somebody knows their Garrett, they're going to be great with their Garrett. If somebody's great with their Mind Lab, right? But if you switch them up and you give the Mind Lab guy a Garrett, it's going to take him a while, right? So I think a lot of it has to do with just your comfort with your machine. And I
yeah.
think all of the manufacturers are probably within, you know, a few centimeters of each other, right, on detecting fines. So
Yeah, and I see the question from Dirty Paul's Detecting. She's asking, what do you like about the Manicore over the 900 in England? That's a really good question.
so the Manicore, the lighting, the backlighting is nice, and the way you can the display lights and the way you can set things up. I like the sounds of the Manicore a little better. You can the customization I found a little easier. So that's why. And it's funny, but as I'm getting older, for me at least, the Deus is harder not to hear, but the Manicore sounds just or sound better to me, and I'm quicker to pick out a target that might not sound good, but I think is something than I can with the Deus, and I think it's just because I'm getting older. And I talked
are
to one of
you
my friends. He said
using
the same thing is like as he's getting older, his Deus is maybe becoming harder to use, but maybe that's just me.
the question? Are on the dais? Are you using the PWM tones or the square tones or high square tones?
Yeah, so I got the new one, the Deus 2, and I used square tones, and that helped a lot more. So I set up the Deus. So I do have a Deus. I have one Deus. I have two Minicores, and I have a 900, and I use those. And I was out trying to do a ring recovery for a lady a couple weeks ago, and I took my Deus out. So I think they're all great machines. I feel confidence in my Manicore, and it's just because I've used it so much more than the other ones that it's like an old
Hmm.
shoe. It just feels comfortable. But
Yeah,
years ago, before the Manicore came out and before the Nox came out, all I used was a Deus, and I felt the same about my Deus, right? So
hmm.
it's just your comfort with your machine, and if you have confidence in you and your machine, I don't care what you're using, you're probably going to find a lot.
Yeah. Just like going back to the Vortex, the new Garrett machine. I personally am not a lover, and this is just me, my personal feeling. I don't like the Garrett tones. I just there's something about them I don't like, you
Yeah,
know. And if you're a Garrett user, if you came from an AT Pro or an Ace or whatever it is you've been using as a Garrett, and you are comfortable with those tones and like it, then I think you're really going to like the Vortex. because it's got the
Yeah.
same tones. It just got a lot more features on it. So, I'm sure they're going to sell a ton of them. You
Yeah,
know,
because it's made in America, so I know there's a lot of people who want that particular product, which is and it looks like we got a question here from Chris Mack, and he's asking, "Did you recover the ring?"
No, I did not. And the problem with that was it was an old farmhouse up here, and she lost her ring in her garden, and she's got a fenced in garden with like chicken wire to keep the deers out. And in the center of each row, she's got this metal thing that's for the watering. So it was like I couldn't really find any space that didn't have that the metal from the watering or the near the fence. Or so I gave it a good 3 hours though, just to try to make her feel better. But unless you see it, I don't think you're finding that one. I don't know. It was beyond my skill level.
Well, it
yeah.
looks like Jeff put this one up because he wants me to pronounce it. It looks like
No,
Coriel Tavi Lisa says, "Hi from UK. Hello, Ken. Lovely to see you."
Hey, great to see you too. And that young lady right there has some of the most amazing finds you will ever see. She's in volume 2 of my book, and I can't even imagine in a lifetime finding what she has. So it's amazing.
All righty. And it looks like Mark Taylor says, "I'm heading to Clearwater in September. Boy, that's a great place to hunt." My question is, I have the Manicore and the Deus too. Which machine would you recommend?
take them both.
It hurt, right?
I'm with you on
Well,
that.
no, it can't.
If you're going to be in water, I had a problem with my Deus where if the coil was submerged, I lost signal, right? Unless you have that wire that comes up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Is that still a thing?
You got to have the
Yeah.
antenna on it.
Yeah, there's no way
Yeah.
around that.
And see, all last week when I was at the beach, I used nothing but the Deus too, and it's great in the water. You just make sure that you attach the uh, the antenna the proper way,
Right.
and you should not have any problems at all.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
it was good.
yeah. The reason for that, for the folks who don't know it, is all the wireless products, and that goes with any detector that's using
Mhm.
wireless. If your coil is wireless, there's no way for it to communicate with the control box or the headphones if you don't have an antenna on it, and it just has to be next to the coil. There's no waterproof seal or anything. It's just got to be clipped onto it. And that would be with any manufacturer. It's like I get that question all the time. I get people who buy a detector and it comes with wireless headphones. And as soon as they put the box of the detector underwater, they lose the signal. And they think there's something wrong with the detector, but that's normal. You have to
Right.
get some waterproof wired headphones if you want to take your box underwater. And that's what
Yep.
Jeff and I are both using for sure.
Yeah,
So
but the Manicore, there's a lot of people out there with Manicores in the water. It's a good machine in the water.
yes, and Mark Taylor, if you've got two detectors and you're going to Clearwater in September, I would take them both, because if one of them is down or your coil goes dead or whatever, you've got your backup. That's the important thing now, is to have some backups for sure.
And
Especially
if you don't have them and you need stuff, you go over to Tampa to Phil's shop. If Phil don't have it, you don't need it. So
That's true. Yeah, you come see me. Clearwater to here is probably, if traffic isn't too bad, about a 40-minute drive. If it's bad,
that's
then
right.
it's probably an hour and 15 minutes.
And you'll need one of the titanium scoops.
Yes, you need that scoop. And I was telling Ken and Jeff earlier about the customer of mine who found Chris. He found 56 mercury dimes on in lower Tampa Bay, and they had been in the water, and I think they were all in one clump in one area. And I think it was a roll of mercury dimes, or plus a few, or maybe there's two rolls out there. He's got to go back and get the rest. So he
I'd
bought
love to
that.
know the story of that, right? That's amazing.
It is. It really is, because it's very unusual here in our area to find silver coins on the beach. It's extremely unusual because we don't have any major beach erosion. We don't have any slope or anything because we're in the Gulf of Mexico. It's pretty flat as you go way out. And, the East Coast is different. There you might find some silver coins for sure. And this
Yeah.
is from Jose Gort. I feel it's Jose from Miami. I'm loving the new Manicore. Thanks again. And Jose came in, I guess it was about a month and a half ago, maybe. And he was over at Clearwater too. And he wanted the Manicore. So he came in and got it. So that's awesome, Jose. Hopefully you found a lot of stuff, some gold with it too.
Yeah,
I think
indeed.
I think he hunts South Beach and all those beaches down there.
Yeah, I'm going to go hunt Fort Lauderdale, probably South Beach, in a few weeks.
Awesome. So this question's from Sam Truckley, and she's asking, Ken, what's your best find this year?
Like I said, this year's kind of rough because I had to leave England after 2 days. I think I found a guinea farthing, a guinea gaming token in England. I think that was that trip in March. No hammers in March. Like I said, it was just 2 days, but I did see 2 gold coins come out of the ground, which was pretty amazing. We
Yeah.
got dropped off from the hotel, and the guys that were already there, Nugget Noggin had just left, and there was 3 other guys still there. So they were out in the fields in the morning. And then I came off the little taxi from the hotel, and they drop you right off in the field. So there's a gentleman that I know I'd detected with before over there. And I saw him when I was walking over to him. I had a 5-minute conversation with him when we started detecting. Boom, pops a gold hammer coin like 50 feet from me. I'm like, oh my God. And just to see just a gold hammered coin. I was the first person he showed it to because I was down digging a target and he came up behind me and he scared me because I saw like a shadow show up. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, look. And he shows me a gold hammered coin. I was like, oh my God. And then another gentleman, the next day, he was late because he got bit in the face by a dog. And he had to stop and get stitches in the US so he was a day late. So he gets off the plane, comes to the field, pops a gold coin. So I saw 2 gold coins come out back-to-back days, and then I had to leave. So that was those guys had a great trip. I had a really nice gentleman. Both of them were in my books. So I've hunted with them before. And it was nice to see that, nice people found some really great things.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Ken, your book is showing all the people's best finds and stuff that they've found, and those books are very interesting. Now, what do you consider your all-time best find?
So probably the one that I highlighted in the book was one of the coins that I found from the hoard that's in a museum over in England now. It wasn't the oldest thing I've found, but it was in wonderful condition. And I found that finding 3 or 4. I don't remember now. Maybe it was 3. That was part of I think it's 56 coins now, or 46 coins that are in a museum that was part of a hoard. But the one that I found was absolutely beautiful. And what had happened was on the field we were digging, we had found a couple the day before. I found one, and Brandon Ray Neese, Dr. Tones, he found 2. And then we went back the next day, and a tractor had driven through the field, this big giant tractor with these big wheels. And like the wheels are like 5 feet high. And it created like this track that was like 2 feet deep. So what I did is I was walking in the track, swinging up and down on both sides of the tire track. And like 2 feet down on the one track, it was right there. It was right on the side of the wall. You could almost see it. Like I just had to touch the wall. Had that truck not driven or tractor not driven through that field, nobody would have ever found that coin. That was too deep. But because it was just fate, right? I'm just walking in the tire track, and there it was.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just because it was in the papers, it's in a museum. Tim Saylor has one. Jocelyn has some. Brandon has some. Aquachigger has some. So the company that I'm in, I'm just like a nobody that gets to share a hoard with some really famous and wonderful detectorists. So I'm very proud of that. And the fact that everybody donated them. So they're in a museum over in England that the people can go to Shropshire and see those coins in the museum in Shropshire. So.
All righty. You going to get that one, Jeff?
Sheriff Bill Crow, just curious why you like going to the UK for metal detecting, because of the older coins, etc., or the reason is?
Yeah, so that's the reason I go. And it's a kind of a double-edged sword, though. So when I started detecting, I got very lucky very fast. I found, I think, 3 or 4 reals in the first 3 months I was detecting. My first coin older than 1965 was a 1760 KG2 counterstamp. That was the first. I was like, what is this? I didn't even know what it was. So within the first year, I had found, I think, 9 reals. It was a crazy year. And we had access to these amazing fields, which I still can hunt today. But you could be there for 2 or 3 hours and not even have a signal anymore. But because of that, it was the desire to find things that were older. It was harder to do because I'd found so many older things. I found a 1650s Cobb in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right? So that's pretty old. Like, how am I going to beat that? So the only way, I'm like, oh, let me try it in England. And my third day in England, I found a hammered coin. And then my second trip, I found a Roman silver coin. So that's what draws you back. The only bad side to that is the desire to go out locally is tempered, because I'm not going to, like, any hole in England can be a Roman silver coin, can be a gold hammered coin, could be like anything, right? Here, if you hit 1700s, that's great. It's amazing. But after you've dug so many of those, that do I want to spend time with my grandkids, my wife, or, I mean, it's a weird, I didn't expect it to happen, and it's odd. Lately, I've had more desire to go out locally than I have in a couple years. So I plan to do that a lot more this winter. But it did kind of put me on tilt a little bit with regards to detecting locally. But if you ever have a chance to go to England, it's unbelievable, the history that's there. And like I said, any target could be anything. Like, you have to dig everything you hear over there, because over here you kind of know what most signals are, and if you kind of want to you can't cherry pick over there, really, because you could be cherry picking away from a gold coin.
Yeah,
or some other a fibula or a shoe nail or something like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, like really the whole. So I dug a hammered coin at 6 on the 800. At 6.
Yeah, you think that's a stinking piece of foil? Well, it almost is. It's just silver.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on the Manicore, I dug one on the Manicore at 9, right? 9 or 10. So you can't look at your VDI. You just have to go by sound. You hear it. And what I do is, if I get pop pop, I just dig it. I might look at the VDI as I'm heading down to dig it, but it's faster to just dig it and get it out of the ground and keep moving than should I dig this? Should I not dig this? And if it repeats for me twice, I'm digging it, and we'll see what it is.
Absolutely. Well, we got another question. This one is from Dirty Paul's Detecting. Do you do any water hunting up north?
No. Andy Snell, who is in my book, and he's local to me. He's also in York County. He does a lot of water hunting, and I think he found, I think it was like 70, I think it was silver dollars or half dollars in a river by us. But no, I don't have the. He's got all this equipment. He's got like these things that float, and you put all your stuff in it, and he's got a breathing
Mhm.
apparatus that he can go underwater. And I don't have any of that.
Well, I
No,
mean,
Joe. No gold coins, Joe. Not yet. Trying.
Yeah.
yeah,
Joe works.
you talk about people finding stuff in water hunting. You look at people like Aquachigger years and years ago when he first really was starting out. He was finding tremendous amounts of
Yeah.
silver and all kinds of neat stuff in the creeks and the rivers because he's really the one I think that popularized the creek and river hunting. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. I follow a bunch of different Facebook groups, and did I freeze? No. Okay,
No, you
I'm
I don't
still
don't.
think
here.
so.
Okay, and
You
here
just
in
got a
Florida,
slight chill.
yeah, here in Florida, there's a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but I'm watching his videos. He does some diving in lakes and rivers here, and we have these big reptiles that may come after you. So I kind of real hesitant on
Yeah.
doing the fresh
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. Maybe New Jersey or Pennsylvania, New Jersey snapping turtles. We
Yeah,
don't know alligators, right?
yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I
I,
see a
the
question.
snapping turtle can get you just
Prospecting
not as
mules.
bad.
I see one about what part of New Jersey did I detect from? So I mostly it was like Mount Laurel, Maple Shade, and Cherry Hill, and then I had a lot of permissions up north in Bordentown, which is about maybe 40 minutes from Philly. So if you're going up the 295, it's about 40 minutes up there. But those Bordentown is where I found a lot of my stuff because the British burned Bordentown twice during the Rev War. So I found a lot of my military stuff, the old military buttons up there.
yeah, and this one is from Pop Can Dan. The history in England is so thick, 1,700 coins are like a bus change for them.
So to that point, the very first time I was over there, there was a guy from England that was detecting with us who knew the tour guide. And I think we found, I don't know, maybe 60 or 70 coins that day. It was the first time anybody had hit the field. So I had like 10 coppers, right? And this other guy had like 10. And at the end, he goes like this and throws them all in the hedges. They don't care about the coppers. They don't, and then there's some that
So,
do, right? But this one guy, nope, I was like, oh, what are you doing? So it's funny how
they call them
perception.
greenies.
Yeah, greenies.
1700s say, oh, you got another greenie, just throw it in your, I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
going, okay, I would definitely put it in my pouch. I can tell you that.
Yeah, the later ones, like the Vickies and the Georges, are like almost like a neon green. They're like a really beautiful green. And as soon as you dig them, you'll see it. It's like, oh, so the older ones are kind of like brownish, like we get, but the Vickies and the Georges or the newer Georges are like green. That's why they call
Yeah,
them greenies.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading the comments. This one is from Sam Truckley, and she says, "Make sure you smash the like button and share." Yeah, please do that. Like if you like our live streams, be sure to like and share it. So hit the buttons, please, guys.
And subscribe if you're not a subscriber.
Yes, absolutely. And if you want to join the Facebook group, do that. Or no, how do they subscribe on YouTube? Just hit this like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay, easy
yep.
enough.
Hit the subscribe button. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, that way you'll get notifications when we go live on Monday nights for sure. And
Now
sometimes
you have to ring that bell and ask for all notifications.
oh yeah, ask for notifications because sometimes we do some live stuff here in the shop on Saturdays.
Yep, because we got new stuff coming in all the time, and we want to let you know as soon as we got it in.
Yeah, as soon as it's here, yeah, we want to do that for
And
sure.
we do generally in the fall, leading up to Christmas. We do that a lot more. We generally call it shopping days till Christmas. So show you stocking stuffers and little things that the one you're buying for may need or you may need. There's nothing wrong with getting yourself a Christmas present. Isn't
And
that right?
Yes, so
Phil.
you got to have plenty of Christmas presents, and like Ken said, you got to have 2 detectors. You're making some
That's right.
trip. If you're making a trip, you do not want to have your day ruined by your coil going dead or your headphones not working, because we've all been there. So I'm the same way. I'll take sometimes 2 or 3 different detectors with me when I go. But
Yeah, I learned the hard way. I guess telling you guys earlier that my second trip over there, it was a little drizzle, and my headphones shorted out, and
uh,
I only had one set of headphones, and I detected for a few days with no headphones. So from that point on, I've always brought doubles of everything.
yeah,
My last trip, one of my coils broke. The trip before that, the arm cuff broke. Right, the little when they were putting all the detectors in the car or in the van, somebody was a little rough and snapped off that little tiny nut and broke my cuff.
ah,
Right, so I've had failures, but I didn't miss a beat because I had duplicates. So that's
Well,
really
that's the
important.
thing. And what a
yeah,
lot of people don't realize, Ken, is when you go over there, you're hunting all day long. I
Oh, all
mean,
day.
that's you may be an avid hunter here, but when you go over there, you got X amount of days over there, and you pack as much as you can. So your
Yeah,
equipment's getting more of a workout over there than it does here for sure. I can promise you
yeah.
that.
And some of the days you're out at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning on the fields, and
Yep.
they drop you off. Bye, right? And then they come back at lunch. They give you lunch, bye, and then they come back at 6 or 7 at night. So
Yep.
you're on the fields 10 to 12 hours sometimes,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
And
You are.
I always have wired waterproof headphones with me in case of the rain. If it starts raining, I take my regular ones off, put the wired ones on, and always have my rain gear. And because there's nothing, there's nothing like it. My first trip, it rained like hell one day, and I had a rain jacket, but I didn't have rain pants.
And you get soggy.
Yeah, that was a rough day. So now,
Yep.
if it rains, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
No,
I got my
sure
rain
doesn't.
gear. Yeah.
All right, we did have a question up there. Oh, you want to do the drawing, Jeff?
Well, we'll get them going on it because
Okay.
you look at the time and this
Oh,
hour's
geez,
flying, son.
yes. Yeah, well,
I hope
time's
I'm not
flying.
boring you guys. Trying.
Yeah. So this is for our giveaway tonight. We are giving away volume 1 and volume 2 of Ken's book, Beneath Our Feet. So you have to enter in the chat just exactly like I have it there. Don't change anything, exactly like I have it there. And you will be entered for the drawing. We're going to have 2 winners. So I put that up there. Start entering whenever, and let's get it in there, get it entered, and we'll be good to go. So I'll leave it up there for a couple of seconds, and um, uh, Ken can answer the question from Johnny Hyatt, and then we'll take it down and give it a couple minutes, and then we'll have our drawing.
All right, you see that one, Ken? Have you applied the Knox 900 update yet?
Not if there's one that's been since March. No, I haven't looked to see if there's an update yet on the 900. I did the one for the mana cores that solved that falsing issue, and that was wonderful. But I haven't used the 900 since probably February. I was using my mana cores in the Deus, so no, I haven't done that one yet. Is it good? Did you apply it? Did you
I
have any
haven't.
problems?
I haven't done it yet. So if somebody has some comments on it, put it in the live stream because I'm interested to hear people's thoughts on that. It's always nice to hear when people update their detectors how the updates worked for sure. And then while we're just chatting here, Dan Jones said, Phil and Jeff, the NACA triple square won last month. Monday is awesome detector. Thanks so much. So that's
And
cool.
you are quite welcome.
Yeah, he won a detector. That's awesome. So what
I
happened?
know. I think they got it out the next day.
Oh, that's great.
Nocta Dilic is amazing. And that Nocta product is really good too. Like
Have
they're
you,
really, yeah, they're
do you
really
see
doing
people
well.
in England swinging those?
You see a lot of Deus in England, from the local people. Like if they're from England,
Yeah.
most of them are probably using a Deus, or at least a good portion of them.
Yeah.
So like all the guys that I know now, Chris Langston uses a Garrett, and so there's another gentleman I know named Robin who's also in the book. He uses a Garrett.
They're
But
using like
a
the
lot of
AT
people-
Pro.
the AT Max, I think they use.
Okay. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
deep detector. It's a really hot detector. And, here it doesn't do as well in saltwater as a multi-frequency, but
Right.
people love the depth of it. So I could see it being used for relic hunting. But
Yeah.
I know Garrett's new product will probably be lighter and a faster processor because that's kind of older technology. Okay. And it looks
No,
like,
look, I see. Have I detected in the Poconos? No, I have not. I'm almost exclusively farm fields. I usually won't go to parks. I don't really go to beaches. There's not really any beaches around me. So I'm almost exclusively focused on farm fields. I won't even detect people's houses. When I first moved up here, I got permissions to a 1700s home. I was like, oh, great, right? So I go up, I talk to them, I give them a copy of my book, I give them a T-shirt, right? And then I was proceeded to be followed around by a little old lady and her son for 2 hours. And every time I got a target and dug a hole, they're putting their head down in the hole. I was like, oh my God. So on the farm field, I can just kind of just do my thing and not, that was tough. And I was like, this is why I don't detect houses, because I had no idea. They were literally going to follow me around for 2 hours and look in the hole as I was taking it. So it was funny. But
yeah,
no, I haven't hit the Poconos.
yeah, that wouldn't be a good day of detecting, having somebody following you around. I don't
It was
think.
rough.
Yeah, I would have quit on that. So how are we doing on the drawing, Jeff?
Well, we're fixing to get her done.
All right.
So I'm going to do a double shot.
Well,
And
how about we do this, right? So just, I don't know if everybody knows, but 100% of the profits of this book goes to charity, right? So it's either the ASPCA or St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So I don't make a profit on any of it. I donate, and I'm transparent about my donations. I donate on my Facebook. I start a fundraiser, and you can see my donation. So you can actually see that I'm donating, because people might say they do things, right? But you never know. So this way it's transparent. I make a fundraiser. Other people kick in sometimes. Todd Yerkes was on. I saw him earlier. He's donated on some of my fundraisers, which is wonderful, right? So not only are my profits being donated, but other people are kicking in on the fundraiser. So it's even more money. So like I said, it's 100% goes to charity. But how about we give away 2 copies of each book? 2 copies of volume 1 and 2 copies of volume 2.
okay, that'll be 4 names we're drawing. So let's get after it.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. This
Look at
is
this fancy stuff. You got a picker? That's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
isn't that cool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cane Digger.
Cane Digger. Yeah, we want to be transparent too and see the people see. Hey,
That's cool.
that,
All right,
like
let's
that.
go
That's
back
pretty neat.
and draw another one.
okay. Now I guess the first 2 are
Okay.
for Jeff. I guess we better say the first 2 are for volume 1 and the second 2 are for volume 2.
Yeah, or maybe they all want volume 1. Let's let them pick volume 1 or
Oh,
volume 2.
all right, cool. Easy enough.
Shannon, Pop Can Dan. Pop Can Dan. Okay, let's do it again, shall we?
That's pretty cool. Again, a little confetti and everything. That's neat.
It is neat. I love it.
Okay, JR2 Male Honey Company. Okay, this is the last one. Let's see. Let's see. 513 digs.
5:30.
Okay, folks. We had Cane Digger, Honey Company, Pop Can Dan, and 513 digs. So what you need to do, I'm going to put the email up here. That is where you do it, folks. You send your name, address, and phone number. And if you want volume 1 or volume 2, to email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. I'll get them to Ken. He'll get your books out to you. And congratulations to all.
I'm
And you're
looking,
going to love them.
I'm looking at my stock. I have a bunch of books down at the bottom of my bookcase here, and I can probably give away another 2. So let's give away 2
Another
more.
2? Okay, well, let me go back and get it set up.
All right,
You guys chat.
while you're doing that, Jeff, Johnny Hyatt is asking, this is a good question. Have any of you used the Aquatech water headphones? And then also, what waterproof headphones? Is that what you're using?
Yep.
And tell us why you like them.
I like the feel of them. Like the feel on my head and the ears is very comfortable. A lot of the other brands are good, right? I've had other brands and I didn't dislike them. But for me, I maybe with the size of my ears, or maybe they're a little big. I don't know. With the Aquatech really just feels comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, here in the shop, we have the Aquatex. We have I was just looking up there. We have the Thresher. We have the Gray Ghost, and we have the Mind Lab ones. And the ones I like the least, not because of sound quality is good, is the Mind Lab one. Just the pinchability of your head. It's like wearing the Excalibur yellow headphones. It's like the same thing. So yeah,
and
comfort, and I think the Aquatex are louder too.
Yeah, and then the Gray Ghost I have, but the plastic around the ears, it's not as soft as the Aquatech ones.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so I like the Aquatech ones.
Moose in New York is a winner.
Jeff, that's Moose and Innie.
That's what I thought it said too. You picked up Moose in New York. I was like, Moose in anyone.
It's Moose in New York. I'm just teasing him because he told us about it when he first won something. Moose in New York is what it is.
Yep. And here's the last one.
The
I didn't pick it up.
one.
Bendel. So we got 6 winners. And you guys are lucky tonight.
Yeah, if you can send me all the names in one email, rather, just so I don't lose it. Send me in one email, and what I'll do is have them include their email, and what I'll do is I'll copy them and you when I send their books out.
Okay. Send your name, address, phone number, and the volume that you want to Treasure Talk Show. I don't know why it went away. I want it back up. There we go.
That might have been
treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. And I'll get it when I get them all compiled. There's all 6 of you, so do it expediently if you would, please. And I'll get them to Ken, and he will get you your book out, and you'll get an email from him letting you know that it's been sent. So congratulations, everybody. And trust me, you're going to love the book.
That is a cool book for sure.
I appreciate all the support, and there's so many people. I want to do a volume 3. It's just a lot of time that goes involved in that. It's months, right? So I spent almost the whole year last year doing books. So I wanted a little bit of a break, but I could literally do 20 volumes. Of course, there's so many people that deserve to be in a book, right? It's a good 3 to 4 month, dedicated process to get one of these books out.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of people don't realize what it takes. And the thing of it is, with your book, it's not like a paperback. This is a hardcover book, and the artwork is really good in it. I mean, you can see, the artwork and different things, and the nice print. This takes a little bit of doing.
Well, if I hired editors and graphics people, I could get it done faster, right? But
you couldn't donate as much.
I want that money to go to charity.
Right.
So I do all the Photoshop work myself. I do all the reaching out to the people, getting the pictures, Photoshopping the pictures right, doing the book layouts, doing the copy editing. I do it all. And that's why it takes so long, because I don't want to pay somebody when I can give that money to a charity.
Absolutely. And Stacy R, I just put this one up. Congrats, winners. Ken, thanks for donating your profits to worthy causes. So yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
you for everybody
And
for their
people
support.
have asked where they can buy the book and help you, the charities that you're supporting, and that's on Amazon, correct?
Yep, they're on Amazon. And if you go to detectorist.com, there's a link right to it. So if you go to detectorist.com and then go to the store, it's got both books, and it's got a link to both books for both the US and the UK.
Yeah.
So you can click on that link, takes you right to it. And what's nice is I was going to do the shipping myself too, but you can't really compete against Amazon.
No, you can't.
No, between the printing and the shipping, I could maybe save 50 cents a book, but then I would have to be worried about shipping it all myself. And then if something gets lost, Amazon sends another one. And then if I did that, that would start eating into the donations. So that's why I use Amazon.
Plus all the trips to the post office.
Yes.
Yeah,
And having to deal with the post office.
Yeah, and the post office is not near me because I live on a mountain in Mount Wolf. So it's like a half-hour round trip. It's not
best. I think you're 100% right, Ken. Let Amazon deal with it.
Yes.
They got it down.
And that's what I was going to say. Dirty Paul's just asking, Phil, do you have these books in your shop? No, I don't. Your fastest and best way is to get it on Amazon, and then the proceeds and profits go right to the charity. So that works best that way. Then we had another comment from Johnny Hyatt. He says, Phil, I'll call you tomorrow to order those Aquatech for the Knox 900. So, Ken, thanks for helping me get the sale there.
They're really good. I'll go up and get them. I'll show you. I love them.
Oh, I got them hanging right here. So yeah,
really
above my head. But yeah, they're comfortable and they're louder. I notice that they're louder, and I always tell people, hey, don't put them on your head until after you turn the detector on, because that startup sound is really loud and could be painful if you don't have your volume set right. So they're different than the other ones. Well, it looks like, Jeff, our hour went.
Oh, yes, it did. It always does that.
It does. It goes so fast.
It always does that. I tell you.
Hope I didn't put anybody to sleep.
No,
I don't think so.
I'm looking at all the comments, and everybody's glad you're doing what you're doing, Ken. And we appreciate you coming on and chatting with us about your treasure hunting adventures, especially in England. And I just appreciate you, Ken, and Jeff, and Jocelyn. Thank you for helping me. And thank you to our many, many people on here who watched the live stream later. And we appreciate all you and all the customers for sure.
Yes, we do. Mike. And
thanks, guys.
Looks like Mike's gift says your books are awesome. So thank you, Ken.
They are. They are indeed.
Mike down in we did a Virginia day. I think it was Virginia. Maybe it was North Carolina. And then at night he would go walk the beach and come up with these shark's teeth.
Nice.
Really cool. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I should have went for the walk with you. He comes back with these shark's teeth. Like the old ones, like the megalodons or whatever they were called.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that area was big with megs.
Yes.
Down around Florida here is megalodon area, but the Carolinas, I guess, that was their mating ground, I think, over in the Carolinas, I think. So I don't know. But anyways, Ken, our time is gone, and we're going to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And your generosity is amazing. You made 6 people very, very happy tonight, and you made us happy, and you gave us a lot of great information and insight, and we want to thank you. And we'll get you back on again next year. Okay. And we'll have some more fun. And after you get back from your next England excursion, I'm thinking there's going to be a gold coin in your future.
There you go. Yes. Gotta have
it. Never know. Hey, get lucky feet.
Yes.
And hope your kidneys
all good now. Good.
Keep your kidneys clear. Drink a lot of pints.
Yeah. I'd rather fight a bear than have another one of those, man. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you. I hear you. So we're going to say goodnight to everybody. Make sure you join us next week. Trevor from Coil Tech is going to be here, and we're going to be talking about that big Mama Jama, the 18-inch coil for the Manticore.
Anacore. Yeah.
So make sure you tune in and say hello to Trevor. And we look forward to seeing you there. And always remember, if you need anything, call Phil, 813-237-1939. Because if Phil don't have it in stock, you don't need it. Happy hunting, everybody. Thanks for watching and dig deeper.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.